Here you go, Chad. We are going to show you how to make the easiest bread ever, and people just think it's wonderful. They're like, oh, this is artisan bread or whatever they call that fancy stuff. It's just really, really easy bread, and I like it because Chad likes to help me make it, don't you, Chad?
Yep, it's easy. It doesn't have that many ingredients.
No, it doesn't. It has 6 cups of flour. Go ahead, Chad. You be the chef today, and I'll be the cameraman.
5, 3,
6. Okay.
2 teaspoons of salt.
Yes.
Yeast.
Yes.
Half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon of yeast.
You don't have to cure it. You don't have to get it started. You just
just straight in there. Half a teaspoon.
Straight in there.
Yep.
Okay, just kind of mix the salt and yeast together. So there's only 3 ingredients to this here. There's flour.
6 cups.
6 cups of flour. 2 teaspoons of salt and a half a teaspoon of yeast.
Correct.
And then add some water.
Yes.
And then
3 cups of water.
Yep, 3 cups of water.
Warm water.
Cold water?
Nope, warm.
Warm? Because you want warm water to activate the yeast. 3 cups?
3 cups.
1. Two.
Okay, this is optional, but I think that putting a little bit of white chocolate chips in it is so good. And oh man, you like it with the white chips?
Yeah, I mean you can, experiment and play with this and do a lot of different things. I know some people put rosemary in it and different spices, but our favorite is white chocolate chips. Recipe calls for 2 cups.
Just whatever.
Yep.
That's great right there.
Just
2 cups or a couple handfuls. And then just mix it in. And this doesn't really make the bread sweet, but every once in a while you'll get a taste of that white chocolate, and it's just exactly the way it's supposed to look.
Yep.
Just sticky. And do you think we put enough chips in it?
This is a really easy recipe because there's only a few ingredients, but you have to think ahead because what we do now is we're going to wrap or cover it. We're going to cover this in plastic saran wrap, and it'll sit for 12 to 18 hours while it raises. So you cover it, and it'll start with that little bit of yeast in there, and you leave this out in room temperature, and it'll raise over the next 12 to 18 hours. 2 types of different Dutch ovens that you can use. The red one here is a cast iron enamel that you can put this in. This here is a number 12 Dutch oven. This is one of my favorite Dutch ovens. Got this here during the 2002 Olympics. We'll be ready to put the bread into one of those 2 tomorrow at about 11 o'clock in the morning, noon. I won't be here, I'll be at work, so Jennifer gets to do that. She'll show you how to put that into your Dutch oven and into the stove tomorrow.
Okay, we started this at about 5 o'clock tonight, and we're getting ready to go to bed, and you can see it's raised. We added a couple more chips on the top. So you can see it's starting to raise, and it's just really sticky.
So you just, what do you do with it now?
Just let it keep going
Just
for the night.
Keep it covered for the night?
You could let it go for 2 days and it'd be fine.
Okay. Are you going to punch it down? What do you
Nope.
do tomorrow?
I'll tell them tomorrow.
Okay. Come back tomorrow and find out what we do on step number
3.
3.
2.
2.
I don't know.
Or whatever step we're on.
All right. So my dough has been sitting on the counter overnight. It's been about 15 hours since Chad and I first made it. See, it's really super sticky. Okay. So I want you to take a little bit of flour and just sprinkle a little bit of flour on there. Actually, this. I'm doing this one-handed. Okay. So just so you can touch it, see? And then I want you to knock it down. Try to form a little ball out of it, fold it around a time or two, and then cover it with a towel and leave it for another 15 minutes. While the dough is resting, I want you to put a little towel out on the counter and take some cornmeal and just sprinkle it onto the towel very liberally. That cornmeal is going to become the outside crust of this bread. So it's been sitting for about 15 minutes now, and it's time to drop it onto this cornmeal, just like that. Then I'm going to sprinkle the top with some more cornmeal, like that. So I'm going to take my towel and I'm just going to bring it up like so. I'm not even going to bother washing out this bowl that it was sitting in, and I'm just going to set it right like this. Now I'm just going to leave it here for 2 hours. That's it. Just leave it sitting in the towel with the cornmeal around it for 2 more hours. A half an hour before your 2 hours is up, I put a Dutch oven inside of the oven and turn the temperature up to 450. So the Dutch oven and the oven come to the temperature together. So the Dutch oven will be 450 degrees when you put the bread dough into it. All right, so it's been 2 hours, and a half an hour ago, I turned the oven on 450 degrees and put the Dutch oven inside of the oven. So the Dutch oven's ready to go. Take my towel, just like this, and I bring it over this hot pan, and I just roll it. I just roll it into that pan, just like that. So I put it back in the oven. It's still on 450 degrees, and I'm going to cook it with the lid on for a half an hour. My bread has been cooking for 30 minutes now, and I'm going to take the lid off and check it. Okay, so I'm going to leave the lid off of it for a few minutes, but I don't think I'll leave it off too long because it looks pretty close to being done. Sometimes you can leave it off up to 15 minutes, but this looks pretty close to being there. This is very, very hot, and I'm just going to lift it out of the pan, just like so. Hey, you didn't wait long.
No, I'm home from work and I'm hungry, so this is going to taste good to me. I'd better have a couple of chips in here. Oh yeah. This here brings me back. I just love the simplicity of this bread, but we had a family reunion here a few years ago, and you know, with my dad's side of the family, he had 10 brothers and sisters, including my dad, so it's usually a kind of a big gathering. But everybody brings their own food, brings their own dinner, and so Jennifer and I, we had just learned how to make this here, and so we took up our Dutch ovens and took the ingredients and we made this bread. And when they started smelling it, a lot of my aunts and uncles started gathering around, and our kids got all kind of pushed back to the side and everything. But anyway, they all wanted a piece of this bread. And what was funny was that they were all arguing over who got the heel. And so what I ended up doing is just taking this round loaf and just cutting off the edges and giving it to my aunts and uncles, and it was a real hit. They really liked it a lot. But it's good with butter. It's good with jam. It's you know, just really good. And they make great panini sandwiches. You cut it a little bit thinner, and then you can grill it and push down between, you know, two pieces of that bread. Makes a great sandwich.
Okay, I almost forgot to show you. The recipe is in the Griffiths cookbook, right there in our Griffiths family cookbook. I will leave the link in the description below. Thanks guys, see you later, bye-bye.